ආයුබෝවන්. So, in this advanced level grammar lesson, we are going to have a look at noun phrases with infinitives and present participles, right? So, a noun phrase does not have a finite verb. It can have a non-finite verb. For an example, infinitive to, with the to form, right? And the present participle of ing, which means the ing form. She began to take English lessons 2 weeks ago, or she began taking English lessons 2 weeks ago. So usually noun phrases are a set of words, right? And they have been modified by adjectives or verbs or adverbs, right? So now here, the red one is a non-finite verb infinitive with the to form. Here, it's the non-finite verb, right? But here we have the ing form, the present participle form, right? A noun phrase answers the question, why? When it is used as an object of the main clause, it occurs after the verb in the main clause, right? So, what did she promise? To join them on a trip. Let's have a look at it. She promised to join them on a trip, okay? Main clause, she promised. That is the subject plus the verb. Noun phrase, to join them on a trip, that becomes the object part of the sentence if we have a look at the sentence structure, okay? Noun phrases beginning with infinitives and present participles. You can say to begin or beginning, to continue, continuing, to hate, okay, to like, liking, to love, to prefer, to remember, to start, to try, okay. Not all verbs here can be used in an ing form. Noun phrases that begin with infinitives but not the present participles. So here are some examples. Choose, decide, hope, manage, need, offer, plan, promise, refuse, seek, want, wish. She decided to call him is just an example as to how you could use it in a sentence. Noun phrases beginning with the present participles but not infinitives. Admit, avoid, consider. She considered calling him. Okay. She decided to call him. She considered calling him. So you can see the difference here. So here you have admit, avoid, consider, deny, detest, endure, enjoy, finish, imagine, mention, miss, postpone, practice, recall, resent, resume, stop, suggest, take. All right. Find out why B is correct and A is wrong in the following sentences. I am starting likes. Can you say likes? No. If you are having ing, then it has to be to like, okay? I am starting to like Beethoven's compositions. So B is correct. You can't say starting likes. Okay? Second one, no one enjoys to go to the dentist. Whereas it should be, no one enjoys going to the dentist. Okay, if you cannot remember, have a look at the examples that I gave you here. Right, where some phrases can begin with infinites and the present participles. Some can begin with infinites but not the present participle. And then some with the present participle but not the infinitives. Right? So she considered calling him. You don't say she considered to call him. She considered calling him, whereas here she decided to call him. So the rules is what you need to focus on. Right? Underline the noun phrase in the sentences. She has failed to impress the interviewers. I'll miss having fun with them. After a while, he managed to run the program himself. The political party did not even attempt to reclaim acceptability. Frankly, my sister enjoys watching horror movies. Okay? Number 6. As a youngster, I hated reciting poems in front of school assemblies. Rhonda plans to spend a month up in the hills. She really must stop blaming herself. The government offered to compensate them for their losses. My mother regrets selling the antique cabinet. Okay, so now hopefully you've finished underlining the noun phrases. Let's have a look at the answers. She has failed to impress the interviewers. I'll miss having fun with them, not having too fun, okay? After a while, he managed to run, and the rest of it. The political party did not even attempt to reclaim. So the rest of the bit, the noun phrase is the remaining bit when you start understanding where to. Is it the infinitive, right? Or is it the present participle? Frankly, my sister enjoys watching horror movies. So I hated reciting poems. So present participle starting once, right? To spend a month, that bit. Blaming herself, to compensate, and then selling the antique cabinet. Hopefully you've got them all correct, right? Now fill in the blanks with the suitable words in the box. She demanded, see, no. When you have demanded, right? Can you remember the rule? She decided to call him. So, begins with the infinitives but not the present participles, right? So, she demanded to see the dead. Remember the rule, okay? She shouldn't tolerate treated this way. She shouldn't tolerate being treated this way. So we sought to solve the key issues first, right? To solve. Right. Next one, they postponing the meeting to December. Right, so now they postponing the meeting. So we have to see decided or suggested. Now let's go back to our rule here, right? They, can you say suggested? Then you can say ing, right? She considered calling him, right? She suggested calling him. But here, can you see? It begins with the infinites but not the present participles, right? So coming back here to our question, you can't say they decided postponing because we cannot have the present participle form there. So they suggested. You have to know the rule to do this. Very important in your writing, could be very useful for you in your reading paper as well. I enjoyed to settle down in Australia. I chose to settle down in Australia. I chose. Grandma started to yearn. To yearn. You don't say yearned. To yearn for her previous home. Here continue taking English lessons. Bento imagined flying an aeroplane. It should be actually flying an aeroplane. The committee is trying to safeguard. my interests. We'll now resume discussing the 5 proposals. Okay? Alright, so let's have a look at the next activity. Rearrange the words to form noun phrases and complete the sentences. Right? So first we have to rearrange this bit to form the noun phrases. Then we can rewrite it. Okay? I want senior manager now write to see the to. Right? I want to see the senior manager right now. Okay, so I think I have my noun phrase together. To see the senior manager right now. I'm going to put it into the sentence. I want to see the senior manager right now. Right, the second one, she resented being left to hold the dog. There we go. She resented being left to hold the dog. Next one, they have promised efficient provide machines to us with. They have promised to provide efficient machines. They have promised to provide us with efficient machines, right? So let's write down. They have, okay, promised to provide us with efficient machines. Okay, right, next one. Dad can't afford abroad to send to college me. Dad can't afford to send me to college abroad. Right. So let's put it into the sentence properly. Dad can't afford to send me to college abroad. Next one. My mother didn't mind a future give good hard working to us. So my mother didn't mind working hard to give us a good future. Right, so let's write it properly in the sentence. Working hard to give us a good future. Now we put it together. My mother didn't mind. So you have to think, is it the present participle form or the infinitive form, right? My mother didn't mind working hard to give us a good future. Next one. Daily he practices ball into net shooting the other. Daily he practices shooting the ball into the net. So we can write down daily he practices shooting the ball into the net. So the next one, underline the correct words in the brackets. I can't stand being ridiculed, or I can't stand ridiculed by classmates. I can't stand being ridiculed. As much as possible, they'll avoid confronting him. The teacher doesn't recall seeing me at the assembly. Now think of the rule again. Okay, I taught you the rules at the start. If you can't remember, go back and have a look at it and see the words and the examples. She always tried to behave according to our team ethics. Amanda could have forgotten to lock up before leaving the room. Gwen would never accept without protesting. So Gwen would never accept being passed over without protesting. The teacher suggested having the whole school linked to the internet. My aunt loves to have youngsters around her. Or should it be my aunt enjoys to have youngsters? It should be my aunt loves to have. Okay. After college, Timothy decided to find a job rather than to go to university. Everyone denied having met her. All right, so let's have a look at the next one. Circle the letters of the correct sentences. Now, I have done a few activities with you. I'd like you to try this on your own. And then I'll put up the answers. A, B, or C. He intended, or correct letters. So, sentence or sentences could be there. He intended decline the offer, but somehow accepted it. So, I think this should be wrong. He intended decline the offer, but somehow accepted it. He intended to decline the offer, but somehow accepted it. Now, think about the structure, think about which form should it be, and then tick the answers. So, you could use intended decline or intended to decline. You could use it both ways, right? So, B is also correct, C is also correct. Next one. People will continue fighting for privilege. People will continue to fight for privilege. People will continue fight. That is wrong. So we've got A and B correct. Okay. Now, have a look at this and think which one or which ones are correct. She likes to think about the excitement they had last year. She likes thinking about the excitement they had last year. She loves to think about the excitement they had last year. Okay. So she likes to think, she likes thinking, loves to think. All of them are correct. So A, B, and C. Next one. The tension in the hall began to affect us. The tension in the hall began affecting us. The tension in the hall is starting affecting us. So this is wrong. Began to affect us, began affecting us. You could have it in both ways. So A is correct. B is also correct. The next one, which is the last one here for this activity, he admitted to lose the records in that folder. He admitted lost the records. So both of them are wrong. He admitted losing the records. That's correct. So C is going to be the answer. Okay? Right. So rewrite the interview correctly using noun phrases or the noun phrase which is appropriate. Okay, so this has been extracted from Grammar Builder 4 and due credits go to the authors. Why did you decide to become a comedian? Why did you decide to become? So it should be, why did you decide to become a comedian? Okay. So I corrected the one of the reporters, right? So why did you decide to become? So here you can go and write reporter. Why did you decide to become a comedian? Okay, now let's have a look at the comedians part. There are errors in that as well. You have to find it on your own. Actually, I planned being an actor. At school, I practiced lines from Shakespeare's tragedies. I attended an audition once, trying to get the leading role in King Lear. As I strutted and spouted, everyone present laughed uncontrollably. I wanted playing the tragic hero. Instead, I got the role of the Falstaff in The Merry Wives of Windsor. So try to rewrite it, okay? Obviously, there's space given for you. So maybe you can jot it down in your notebooks, okay? And let's have a look at the answer. Actually, I planned to be an actor. At school, I practiced lines from Shakespeare's tragedies. I attended an audition once, trying to get the leading role in King Lear. As I strutted and spouted, everyone present began laughing uncontrollably. I wanted to play the tragic hero. Instead, I got the role of the Falstaff in The Merry Wives of Windsor. Right, so I think this is a very important lesson because I see so many students making errors when they do their writing task 1 and writing task 2 because they don't know these things, right? And because of that, I thought it would be quite useful for you to go through it. Have a look at the examples. Maybe you can add more words to your list so that it's easier for you to remember. So I think with that you have got a good understanding of the lesson and I hope you use it and add more words to your list, right? And if you can, find more activities and practice. So with that we come to the end of this lesson, noun phrases, focusing with infinitives and present participles.